This episode of Merc Vapor Adventures is brought to you by Eclectic House Studios. If you haven't checked it out, please check us out at eclectichouse.com. And I had intended on moving this channel away to the new Eclectic House channel. Turns out I got to thinking about that more, and I thought, well, maybe it makes good sense to have Merc Vapor Adventures stay at its own local home and just reference it. So that's what I think I'm going to do. We'll see how that works out. Of course, continue to check out Eclectic House. There's going to be a lot of other content up there that you might be interested in. It's February, and well, I got out on the motorcycle a little bit. Let's check into that. And while I'm thinking about it, a friend of mine let me know that he and his son were watching the channel and saw the Sturgis video. And Harvey, I just want you to know that I had no issues. Sometimes the world throws curveballs like rainstorms when you're in a one-person tent, and you get through it and it gives you bragging rights. And I want to assure you that I'm just fine, had a great time. And if you watch the rest of that video, it was fantastic. I hope to see you sometime soon, and I hope you enjoy the episode. Rated to bingo.
Smile.
I just pulled in and did about 60 miles. It's a February 14th in Minnesota. Unheard of. Anyway, I wonder which beauty I sprung from prison first. And the answer? This crazy redhead. This is the beginning of a year full of shenanigans with her. And there's lots of plans coming up for her this year. Well, I've been at it for about 40 minutes. And there's the harness. I don't think that's too bad. I use some shrink tube. And I use these butt connector with solder joints that my friend Jim suggested. When I started wiring, I was using a torch. Then I realized I had a heat gun, which is the proper tool for this. I got to tell you that I am glad I didn't choose to be an electrician, because I can totally do this, but I'm not sure I would have the patience to do this day after day after day. In fact, that's why my 1200 is getting finished at Bergdale. I did do the clutch, as many of you saw. Did some other things with it as well, but as soon as I got to the wiring for the Speedo, I got pretty sick of it pretty quick. Anyway, major respect for electricians doing this kind of work, and if you ever wondered why they get what they get as far as reimbursement, go out and wire a vehicle or a motorcycle, and you'll quickly understand. Anyway, I think it's good enough for government work, and I do want to test it before I get too far. I've got quite a bit of wire so I can run it into the cab. And I'm using one of these just quick connect Wilson 12-volt connectors. Now it should turn on the 3 lights on the front of the bumper. I haven't done the ditch lights on the corners yet. And I got to be honest with you, I'm not looking forward to doing that either, but I'll get to it. Anyway, I've got this nice farm jump pack that's all ready to go with a 12-volt port. And we'll go ahead and plug this in. That's now plugged in. Let there be light. It does indeed work. So I can move on and get cracking on the corner ditch lights that are behind these grills. And then later today, we'll get back at the radiator. Making some progress. I've put another pigtail on the ditch light that's in the corner. And I'm going to put these connected with the other ditch light over there. Before I get too far, we're going to test and make sure the pigtail is working like it should. Trying to keep Murphy at bay. And I'm not talking about, Charlie Murphy. This Murphy's not much fun. And we're going to test it in the same way that we did before, using this little guy and the battery pack. That sucks. I have no power. Oh, there we go. It helps if I turn the battery tack on. So there's the ditch light. We are indeed working. And just to make sure, I'm gonna jiggle some things around. Yeah, we're good. We'll get over to the other side and connect it up too. I spared you the hookup, but we do indeed have both the ditch lights up and wired. I cleaned that up. That shrink tube going in is the feed. I've got all the wiring coming out here. We're going to run it in through the same wiring as our amplifier. And I'm going to do one final sanity check just to make sure we're good on center lights. And if we're good there, until I get a little more shrink tube, because I'd like to clean some of this up, we should be done. This is what I'll be using to throw on those front lights. I'll just mount this up on the top part of my dash. February in Minnesota, and as you can see, no snow in the land of ice and snow. I'm gonna hop on the Sportster, take a little scoot. It's about 45, I guess. I can only get away for a few minutes, but I'm gonna hit the hardware store and pick up a light bulb for our refrigerator. And instead of boring you with a bunch of dead air, I will take video on the bike, but I won't put a lot of it in the video, YouTube video, because I still am working on getting the mic'd up in the helmet. So this year you will have some of that, some commentary from yours truly, but we're just not there yet. A little more details on this. I'm not sure how to refer to it anymore. It used to be an 883, now it's a 1200. Had that work done last year, and I was pretty much off the air, so I didn't talk much about it. I did ride this bike quite a bit and intend to do some more this year. Gonna iron butt it. Put on 2-inch tank lifts. And I didn't do this work. It was over for other reasons at one of the Harley dealerships to get some work done, and they did this for me while it was there. Eventually I'll tuck those cables underneath the tank. But I can't say enough good things about Bergdale Harley-Davidson. John, you're a lifesaver. The rest of the shop, Mark, you all are awesome. Not a sponsor, just a really good dealership in the area. Can't say enough good things about them. And with that, we coil relocated. So I think that dressed it up rather nicely. And the ignition got sent down on this little lower area. If you're thinking about doing the coil relocation kit, it looks awesome. Would highly recommend. The one that I've been using is from DK Customs. I did it both on this Sportster as well as the other 1200, which you've been seeing pictures of for a while. You'll see it being ridden this season, and I'm pretty excited about it. More on that soon. Well, best laid plans, as they say. You can see I got the GoPro on the helmet, but been a couple years since these have been in use, and it doesn't want to power up. I'm going to guess the batteries are toast, and it's probably not the only one doing that. So I'll have to do some looking into that, and well, we'll at least get you hearing the sound of the bike starting up, and that'll have to be enough for now. Here we go. It's a carbureted bike. And the choke has moved because of the relocation kit. In a slightly awkward but better position, I think. Oh. There we go. Whoops. Uh-oh. She's happy. It's just cold. the few sputters. She made it just fine. And we get the refrigerator light bulb. Feels really good to be out in February in Maxnesota. See what I did there, Shade Tree? I do listen. I walked in and saw this. This matches the Softail Slim. And screams nothing but trouble. Pretty cool. Say, if it takes your breath away, you've got the right bike. She takes my breath away, that's for sure. But I'm biased. This was the first real type of bike I ever rode outside of the Shrine. So it's a little sentimental. And although she's not the original, I still have the seat from it. And the scars to prove it. When I say I love this bike, it doesn't even begin to cover it. It's sentimental. It reminds me of a bunch of good trips. I did Sturgis from here, 750 miles, non-stop on a Sporty. It was my first real ride on a long-haul trip. Some bragging rights, but not quite enough, which is why I'm going to iron butt it this year. I already did it on the Street Glide. I've come close on the Slim. The Slim's time is coming too. I love motorcycles. It was a little chilly, but I managed to head out this morning and see a good friend. And took a little spin on the motorcycle. Pretty good for Minnesota in February. And it's been a while since I went to the shop I went to get the light bulb. And was reminded I kind of like it there. Which is maybe not the best thing to know. But oh well. Anyway, back to the grind. I hope I see you in person. But if not, then I hope this video finds you well. You thought I was over, didn't you? If you would tell your friends to like and check me out, and if you could like and subscribe, I surely would appreciate it. The other thing I want to tell you is I'm wearing this again. It's been a really long time. If you're looking to make a change at all, whatever it is, whether it's physical, mental, spiritual, and you're afraid to take that last step, I'm here with you. You can do it. Not too shabby for a February week in Minnesota. It's good to see you again, and you should see these videos more on the regular. I'm going to promise you that. This summer is going to bring up a lot more adventures. I'll be tooling down Route 66 again, but with the family, and picking all along the way. But there'll be plenty of motorcycle rides, too. If you would, hit like and subscribe. Tell your friends about the channel, especially if I bring a smile to your face. And in the meantime, I'll end with what I always do. Please remember to see all the beautiful things that are around you every day.